Welcome to Spotlight Special. I'm Bob Sheehan, Plainsboro Township Administrator, and my guest today is the relatively new Recreation Director, Len Celluro. Welcome, Len.
Thank you very much.
Len, let's get started by hearing about your background. Tell us about your experience.
My experience in recreation goes all the way back to high school. My very first recreation job was as a summer counselor for the Bloomfield Recreation Department. Very quickly, I realized that this is something that I really wanted to do. I love the interaction. I think I'm a people person, so I really like that interaction. From there, I worked in every aspect of the Bloomfield Recreation Department. I worked on this in the summer. Sometimes I worked as a camp counselor. Pre-summer, I would work on the maintenance truck, fixing ball fields, tennis courts, that kind of stuff. So at a very early age, I started getting a nice background. Then I went on to officiate anything and everything, from volleyball to baseball. And when it became time to go to college, when we were sitting down talking to my counselor, I asked if there was such a field, and she did find that there was a few different colleges in New Jersey. Wanted to stay close to home, so I actually majored in recreation and leisure studies at Fairleigh Dickinson University, where I graduated from. Upon graduation, took my first municipal recreation job in the Montclair Recreation Department, which is a nearby town to where I grew up, where I was the assistant director of recreation for 8.5 years. Lo and behold, dream job came true after that. I actually went back home to Bloomfield and became the superintendent of the Parks and Recreation Department there, where I stayed for another 8.5 years. Great experience going back home. We did a lot of really nice things while I was in Bloomfield. We did the whole park system, community development, block grant money. So it was very rewarding to go back to the town that you grew up in and make a difference. It had its pluses and its minuses. You know, you can't go to the local supermarket without somebody, asking you a question about recreation, but that's what the job entails. From there, a job opportunity came in Morris County in Hanover Township. I like challenges. Hanover Township proposed a nice challenge because it had a brand new community center. It had a pool, which we did not have in Bloomfield, and so those challenges piqued my interest, and I made the move, even though it was tough. It was a hard decision, but at the time, I thought that it was a great move, and it ended up being a great move because it was a very diverse community, as well as Bloomfield was. From there, I spent a lot of time, and then another 8 years in the field, and you can see that the years are piling up in the field of recreation. And then I took on my biggest challenge. I actually went out to Long Island, and I was the executive director of the Great Neck Park District. It's a special district, just recreation, where we had an indoor-outdoor tennis center, a marina, a cultural center, an aquatic center, an ice skating rink. Wow. So it really ran the gamut, and it was a great experience. It really was. I was there for 2 years, but always knowing in the back of my mind that I wanted to come back to Jersey, and that's what brought me here to Plainsboro. It was a nice opportunity to come back into Jersey, and I think that whole experience and all the diversity in that experience puts me in a nice position to have a nice long career here in Plainsboro.
Yeah, we hope so. This is now your dream job, right?
This is my dream job.
Okay, I was a little thrown there earlier on. Tell us about the department. Let the public know exactly what all of the various things that go on here.
The Department of Recreation and Community Services is actually 3 different divisions within the one department. We have a ranger division, which our rangers not only patrol the parks to make sure everybody's doing the right thing in the park, but they also do programming, a lot of educational program, environmental education programming, some community service programming as well. The other part of the division, which is the bulk of the division, is the recreation end. We run programs from pretty much birth, our Mommy and Me programs, through senior citizen programs. So we run the gamut, and we run not only sports programs, but cultural programs, fitness programs, special event programming. So the bulk of the department is the recreation end, but we also have community service, which the food pantry comes under our umbrella. Really run by great volunteers and staff here. And then, of course, we have our office staff that is the glue to the department, that keeps us all together. So it's a well-rounded department as far as recreation is concerned.
Tell us about, you've been here now for, I guess, about 6 months. Tell us about your experience so far. What struck you about
It's only been 6 months. Wow, it feels like about 6 years. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that actually in a good
Boy,
way,
that's
because
tough.
it's been a really seamless transition back into the Jersey recreation field. The staff, yourself, the other department heads have been very welcoming and helpful as I make it through the first year. In recreation, it's interesting because we don't do the same thing every day. You know, there's 4 different seasons, so we have 4 different seasons of special events, programming, and without the help of the other departments, you know, we're not a standalone department. We need the help not only of the different departments in the township, finance, DPW, you know, just to name a few, but also the community groups in the town. We ran a special event, Haunted Tonight, where we teamed up with 10 different community groups. So everybody has been very helpful in making the transition a real seamless one for me.
Yeah, maybe you can take a minute and elaborate a little further on the initiatives you've already begun in reaching out to a variety of different players in the community and trying to partner to a much greater extent than we've done so in the past.
Yeah, the resources in Plainsboro are really endless, and I'd like to build my resource pool, and in essence, the resource pool of the department. There's nothing worse than duplication of activities, programs. We've coupled with the library on a couple different programmings. The Preserve is running a program, and then they're going to exhibit their art here. And we've also reached out to, like I said, in the program Haunted Tonight, 10 different community groups, from the Little Leagues to the Plainsboro Moms Club. I don't want to leave anybody out, but it was great to see those community groups join in. Furthermore, you know, we want to team up with a community education program to further our cooperation with them. Where we've made a lot of strides is with the business the community, the Plainsboro Business Partners. I've actually become a member, and I sit in on their monthly meetings, and it is that community business relationship that could only further our programming and expand our resources. It's a win-win as far as I'm concerned, because we not only get some funding from the business partners, and they get positive, you know, anything that we do here in recreation is positive, so they're getting that positive advertisement being associated with our programs. So I think that in itself has been a home run right now, and it can only continue. As a matter of fact, we're running a wellness fair in January. And all of the people who are going to be here presenting will be from the Plainsboro community, the business community. So we're really glorifying the businesses in Plainsboro, but at the same time being able to run a program here, which will be really beneficial with, you know, especially after the holidays, everybody's New Year's resolution, you get in better shape. And so the wellness fair is going to be at the end of January, January 25th. There's a little programming advertisement there. The 25th it's a Saturday. We'll go right along with people's New Year's resolution.
Well, let's do another advertisement. We have Traditions coming up. We're filming on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Explain what you have in store.
Traditions is a program. Actually, one of the reasons why, and I'll backtrack a little bit, one of the reasons why Plainsboro was so appealing to me is I knew of Plainsboro on the recreation landscape in New Jersey because I sat as an awards chair for the New Jersey Recreation and Parks Association. Traditions actually was award winner, I believe it was back in 2002, 2003, for special event programming. What Traditions is it's a celebration of traditions and holidays from around the world, all in one, under one roof. We're going to have it here on December 7th. It's a Saturday from 1:30 to 4:30, and it will bring traditions from all over the world. And we're taking a little bit different view on it this year. It's like through a child's eyes. So we're going to have a lot of children's groups. Instead of going out and spending to have you know, different companies come in and perform, we actually have a lot of children's groups this year that will be coming in. But it's a multicultural program. It's a really neat program. And I'm looking forward to it because my first one, I've read about it, I actually gave it an award years ago, so I'm really looking forward to being here that day.
What programs or plans do you have to exploit this great building we have here, the Recreation and Cultural Center?
I mean, it's a beautiful building, and recreators throughout the state, this is something that you look for if you are looking to move into another job, is because one of the hardest things as a recreator is when you sit down and you start planning for programs. The hardest thing is where are we going to run it? If we have to rent a facility, do we have to beg, borrow, and steal from Board of Education for facilities? Having a facility is step one. So having this facility is step one in programming. It is a gorgeous facility, and it's structured and partitioned off where you could have multiple programs going at a single moment. We have the arts and crafts room, we have the kitchen, we have the Nova Nordis room, have meeting rooms. Everything could be going on at the same time, which is really neat. Our job now is to fill it and keep the place jumping. We do a real nice job right now during the day and at night. We'd like to expand on our afternoon programming, and it just sits so well. The area where we're sitting right now, which is the arts and enrichment area with the stage in the background, we'd like to expand upon our one-time events, like our single special events, bringing in more multicultural programming. So that's something for the building. As far as other programming, we've talked as a staff about a couple different goals. One is our teen programming. It's not how do I say, it's not just Plainsboro. It's unfortunately in the recreation field, we're losing our teenagers earlier and earlier. When I got in the field about 25 years ago, we would lose them in high school. Once they got their driver's license and they got mobile, we would lose them to the recreation field because everybody just wants to cruise around and hang out. Unfortunately, it's gotten younger and younger to the point now where it's uncool to be part of a recreation program as early as 6th grade, 7th grade. So we have to do a better job in the field in general about finding out what they want. It's very simple to sit in a room and design a program for teens, but the idea is how do you get them there? What we did in a couple of the communities that I was in before, and we'd like to try it here, is we actually put together a youth guidance council. And we go to the Board of Educations and the schools, and we talk to the guidance counselors about giving us a nice cross-section of students from 6th grade through seniors in high school. And don't give us all your A students, don't give us all your athletes, give us some students that may be challenged, and sit down and actually ask them, what do they want? And I'll tell you the first, the first thing that we're going to get is that they don't want chaperones. Well, okay, that's a non-starter, so we take that off the table, and where do we go from there? And you'd be surprised, and from there, what we've done in the past is put together a questionnaire that we send out to the student body. Hopefully you get 10 to 15% people that actually sit down and really think that, hopefully they realize you're trying to help them, and they'll sit down and they'll answer it. You will get Mickey Mouse and that kind of stuff. Who do you want to chaperone? So, but for the most part, you take that, you do the calculations, you bring the data together, and then you can see exactly what your teens want. Like I said, it's very simple. I sit all the time on continuing education because this is a hot topic in recreation across the country, and you could sit and they'll sit there with their PowerPoint presentation, tell you what the teens want, and everybody looks at me at the end of the presentation because I stand up and I go, how do we get them there?
Yeah.
And it's we found that ask them, and they'll be truthful, they'll tell you, and then you have to come to a happy medium about what kind of programming that you can actually. So that's one of the areas that we would like to concentrate. The other is, and it's not as programming as much as getting our word out, letting people know who we are, branding the Recreation and Community Services Department so that people know, we had 800 to 1,000 people here at Haunted tonight. We cross-referenced. We started already giving out information. We cross-promoted it. We started giving out information about traditions. So when you have a captive audience.
For our audience who doesn't know, Haunted Tonight is our Halloween,
it's a Halloween event.
Yeah.
Is our Halloween event. So we started cross-promoting that, and we want people to know who we are. So the people that were at that event, when they know we're holding an event, if they had a good time, they're going to say, oh, yeah, no, they ran a really good program. And just getting that information out of who we are, where we are, how we're found. And again, getting people to go to our website. That's the greatest form of advertisement for all of our programs. If you want to know what's going on in the town in general, and specifically for the Recreate, go to the website. Everything's on the website. coming to this beautiful facility, say hello, introduce yourself to me. You know, I'm new. The more people I know, the better. So,
Well, you know, you'll be pleased to know you are the most visited part of our website, just so you know. It's probably timely for you to explain to our viewers the work of our food pantry and our holiday giving program.
we have two different programs for the holidays. One is actually we had a distribution the other day for Thanksgiving. So that is very rewarding to the volunteers. The second part of it will be coming up now. There's a giving tree here in our building as well as across the plaza in the municipal building, where you can come and take part of the giving tree, bring in a wrapped gift from something that you pulled off the tree. Also, the food pantry will have a food distribution on the 20th of December. We'll have a food. So anytime you want to donate food, if the pantry is not open, just bring it here to the recreation center and we'll make sure that it's there. And you know, as we're on TV here, I got to give a huge thank you to all the volunteers from the food pantry. They do a wonderful job, and I know it's rewarding, but we still couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. And the holiday giving trees are located here in the recreation center?
Here in the recreation center and on the municipal, in the municipal building across the plaza.
It's a great program. We encourage our employees to participate, and anyone who's coming through the building, that would be very helpful. Well, then, one other program I would like to talk about briefly is the programs we have that are funded through our ROID grant, which is an acronym that you're going to have to help me with. But there really is some special programs that we do.
The ROID grant is a state-funded grant for people with disabilities. You apply for the grant through the Department of Community Affairs, DCA, and we have programs that are funded directly from that grant, from special events. We always have dances. Our population, our special needs population, love the dances. So we have a Valentine's dance. We had a Halloween dance. We have art programs. We just became a member of Special Olympics, which is huge, to be recognized by Special Olympics, to be a host township. So our Special Olympics. So our ROID grant, you know, helps aid in all of that programming.
And one other new program that started earlier this year is the Family Fun Night. Maybe you can
Family Fun Night, if the audience does not know, the Family Fun Night is where we open up this beautiful facility. It's the first or second Saturday. Again, I'm new.
Again, the website.
For better program information, check the website. But it's here. So we have small games, table games. We have arts and crafts, and the highlight of the evening is bingo. So we have, you know, we and I'm telling you, some people came last time just for bingo. You know, the program is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and people were showing up at 7:30. Did bingo start yet? Did bingo start yet? But it's a great way for people to come and meet neighbors that they might not necessarily meet. It's a great meeting place. Like I said, we do small games. We have the Wii game. We have arts and crafts going on. We have some music. And we'd like to expand on that. But it really has been reaching. I mean, there were times last year, Karen said that we had over 140 people here. Yeah. So again, it's a nice way to meet other families with young children. It's really family-oriented that you might not have had the opportunity to meet. So it's a nice program.
As you mentioned, everything that we do really depends on volunteers. We have a lot of terrific young people that come forward and help out. If any of our viewers are interested in volunteering, how would they go about doing that?
Two different ways. The easiest way, again, is the website. Right on the home page, there's a recreation community service link. If you go to the link, there's right prominent is a volunteer application that you fill out. You get it to us. It'll ask you simple questions about when are you available, what kind of programming would you like to volunteer for. So that's the easiest way. The second way is just stop in. We have the applications here. So either way, or if you see me, walking on the streets or at a special event, because, like you said, I mean, volunteers, we can't say enough about volunteers. We had over 30-something volunteers for our Haunted Tonight Halloween.
Wow, that's great. Well, Len, thanks so much for your time today. It's a pleasure visiting with you. I'm sure we'll be doing this again sometime soon.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, I look forward to having you back. Well, thanks for joining us today on Spotlight Special. Look forward to seeing you next time.